Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Black History Month. And so, as I wait for my water, no, we're just gonna dip it. So, before, before there's a West African tradition that before you address a group of people, you ask an elder for permission to speak. And I've known this gentleman all my life. And so, may I proceed, sir? Yes, sir. Brother Earl, do I have permission to speak? Do I have permission to speak? Can I proceed? Thank you, thank you. And so, when we start anything, we start with libation. Libation is simply asking our ancestors to come and be with us. And not so much to be with us, because they're always with us, but it's more so for us to ensure that we know that they're present. Because your grandfather, great-grandfather, whoever you had, is always there, and you're the same seed that's the seed of them, and it's going back for so long. And black people on this planet, we have a great tradition, we have a great history that we're going to talk about and celebrate today. And so when we pour libation, we use water. Why? Because water has no enemy. Everybody here drinks water. There are people who are Democrats in this building, they drink water. The people who are Republicans in this building, they drink water. There are those who consider themselves more independent, they drink water too. Your body is 75% water. The earth is covered under its surface 3/4 with water, so we use libation. And when we pour libation, we say Ashe. Ashe means thus it is. It is because we declare it to be. It is because we say so, just like when you were younger and you would ask your elder in your family, why can't I do this, why can't I do that? And they would say, because I said so, that's right, that's why. So we say Ashe. And so we pour libation to the continent of Africa, where no matter who you are, that's where you come from. And, or you come through there at some point. And so we pour libation to the great civilizations that preceded us. We pour libation to the Zulu people, to Ashe, to the Shanghai. We pour libation to the Yoruba, the Igbo, the Hausa people, the people of the Edo Kingdom, where I come from, to the Dahomey, and so many other civilizations, the Akan as well. And we pour libation to individuals like Imhotep, who's the father of science. We pour libation to King Shaka, Queen Hatshepsut, Queen Mother Yasintua, one of the greatest warriors to ever live. And we pour libation to those who fought against our captivity on the continent. Individuals like King Shaka of the Zulu fighting against the British. We pour libation to Queen Mother Yasintua of the Ashanti. We pour libation to Singbe Pie, also known as Joseph Sinke, who fought on the Amistad against our captivity. We pour libation to those who died in the Middle Passage. 6 million people died in the Middle Passage alone. Their bodies form a carpet at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, the Great Maafa, as we call it, or the African Holocaust. And we pour libation to them, some who jumped over those ships because they knew what was waiting for them was worse, far worse than what they were going through. And they struggled and sacrificed so we could be here today. I need folks to repeat after me. Black people were never slaves. Black people were never slaves.
Black people were never slaves.
Black people were captives.
Black people were captives.
You see, a slave is someone or something that submits his will to a master. Black people in this country never submitted. There were thousands of recorded revolts against our captivity. So we pour libation to individuals like Nat Turner, Gabriel Prosser, Denmark Vesey, Toussaint Louverture, Queen Mother Nanny of the Maroons, Harriet Ross Tubman, and so many others who fought against our captivity. And we pour libation to contemporary names like the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Malcolm X, Sister Ella Baker, Sojourner Truth, and so many names that we can name. I know y'all got some names.
Name some that came through this building on our behalf.
That's next.
Okay.
So, and there are so many other names that we can name. We also want to name more contemporary names we do know. Folks like Vel Phillips. Folks like Marsha Cox. folks like Icons, folks like, Ezekiel Gillespie, individuals like Tamara Grigsby, Lloyd Barbie, and so many others that we have. Folks who fought, names we know who fought in this state of Wisconsin. And then we know names that are close to us, like Big Mama, Mud Deer, Paw Paw, Cousin Skeeter, Uncle Junebug, Big Tone from the block, and so many names that we know. So if you have a name, say the name. Say the name of an ancestor. Say the name. Right. Say the name. Say the name. And lastly, we pour a libation to those who are to come. There are maybe babies sitting on laps. Somebody may be on their way here in the next few months. There will be people who go on to do greater things than we ever imagined. And we pour a libation because now it is up to us to put in them what somebody put into us so we could be here. And so we pour a libation to them and their futures because their future is our future. And so we pour a libation to them. We say, Ashe, 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 Ashe. Thank you. So, just keep going. All right. And Baba Earl, don't think I forgot your name. I saying this brother. Don't think I forgot your name. So he used to drum with my father in Kothi, dance company. So I had to shout him out. So he's known me since I probably couldn't even walk yet. So we're here celebrating Black History Month. And I want to start off by saying that our history as Black people in this country did not begin when we arrived in chains. That we have a great, rich tradition that is the foundation of almost every culture on this planet. And some of it was shared willingly, some of it was taken from us. And we want to celebrate all of our traditions. So Carter G. Woodson started Black History Month as Black History Week in 1926, as Negro History Week. It was used as a time to celebrate the accomplishments of Black people, not only in this country, but abroad and throughout the world. It has never been accepted by us that Black people had never done anything worthy of celebrating. We recognize that we all have lived under oppression for an extended period of time, not only in this country, but through other parts of the planet as well, if we look at colonialization, et cetera. So what Negro History Week was a moment not only to recognize that we had done significant things on the planet in the past, but to recognize and celebrate the work we had done in the previous year. And for those who don't know Carter G. Woodson, he's a great philosopher, he's a great professor, and he has some great books. He has one book that's notable. It's not the main one, but it's called Miseducation of the Negro. And if you don't read anything by him, read that one. He was a proponent of the work. And he was not celebrating of the work that you were, as my mother says, fin to do. It was the work that you had done. Because many people get Black History Month wrong. That now we will do some work in 1 month out of the year. We'll take 28, maybe 29 days to do some Black work out of the entire year. No, Black History Month is a celebration of the work you have done all year. It is the presentation of the work that you've done all year long. And Dr. Woodson was quoted as saying, he was notable as saying, no work, no celebration. If you didn't do no work, you don't got nothing to celebrate. And so for my colleagues who are here and for my colleagues who are elsewhere who have done the work, some people who are present here, we recognize the work that you've done. Not what you finna do, however, what you've already done. But we know what you finna do because we know what you've done. Like I said before, our history did not begin as captives. When we were captured, tortured, and human trafficked across the Atlantic Ocean and brought here to heighten capitalism and be free labor for folks. We have the greatest story of resilience on this planet. People who have been through what we've been through and have come to be sitting where we are and doing the things that we're doing right now. Much of the free labor that we have given and building of this country, if you look at folks like Benjamin Banneker, who rebuilt Washington, D.C., and many of those buildings were built by those who were captives. If you look at the millions and billions of dollars that were made, not only here in the United States, but across the planet, off of the trade and labor of African people, that has gone unrequited. There has been no effort to ensure that those who are the descendants of those folks were made whole. And we need to have that conversation as well. That conversation is being had throughout the country, not only federally, but locally and in states like California and Illinois and at the federal government. We need to have that conversation as a debt that is owed to the descendants of people. And so I'll wrap up by ending the way I started. We were never slaves. Black people in this country were never slaves. We were captives because we never submitted. We are some of the greatest people who've ever existed on this planet. We invented science. We invented kingdoms, civilizations. We have our brothers and sisters all over the planet, not only here in the United States, but in the diaspora as it is known. We were never slaves. We invented science, technology, engineering, math. Like when a young black person says, I can't do math, well, my father would say, why not? You invented it. It came from you. So this Black History Month, with myself and my colleagues, we celebrate our richness, our greatness, and we highlight the things and the challenges that many of us still have as a result of us being in this part of the planet. However, we especially talk about how great we are and our resilience and what we will continue to do. So I thank you for allowing me to give all of those long words I just gave, and we will continue on. Peace and blessings.